Alright, good morning class. Today we're going to learn about constructing a graph, putting the variables on correctly. So we're starting off right here. My goal is by the end of today's class period that you'll be able to correctly identify if a graph is labeled correctly and determine how to make scales on a graph. So this is where we're going to start. In order to construct a graph from a table of data, you must learn to do three things. You've just learned one of them when you practice writing the variables along the proper axes. The second thing you'll need to do is place a number scale on each axis. To label an axis with a numerical scale, remember the following steps. Each of the steps is illustrated with a sample problem. For example, if the values to be graphed were shown below. So here's our table. This is very, very important. You need to star this right here, put some kind of notes, because we're going to come back to this. When we go to quiz over table and graphs, I'm going to make sure that you know how to make this scale correctly. So when you're making a scale for a graph, the first thing is mark off the axis to about 5 equal line segments. If you had more data than 5, if you had 7 points, then you'd go 7 equal points. Then you're going to subtract the smallest variable from the largest and divide by 5. So when you subtract the smallest from the largest, you are finding the range. Ooh, there's a crazy math term. So you're going to start off and find the range of the numbers. Then the reason why you divide by 5 is because you have 5 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's what you need. Now when you did this, for example, on this up here, you take your highest number, which is 55. You subtract from your lowest number, which is 7. So you get 55 minus 7 is 48. You go 48 divided by 5, and you got 9.6. Well, 9.6 isn't a common rounding number. I mean, can you imagine trying to make a scale going every 9.6 units? That just wouldn't work out. So what you need to do is go ahead and round to the nearest counting number. Commonly used counting number. So for example, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15. Go ahead and do that. So 9.6, you'd round approximately to 10. And so then, step 4 is you begin with a number equal to or slightly less than the smallest number to be graphed and label the axis with the selected interval. So we take a look at here. 7 is our lowest to be graphed. So what we did is we put 0 right here, and we went ahead and went 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. See, if we had a graph 55, we'd just go over this side and put it on there. So again, these 4 steps. Mark the axis into 5 equal line segments, find the range, then divide it by the total number of marks you have. In all of our examples, you're going to have 5 numbers, so you'll be dividing by 5. Round the answer to the nearest commonly used counting number. Begin with a number equal to or slightly less than the smallest number to be graphed and label the axis with the selected interval. So put a star by these steps. Alright. So, for problems 7 through 12, we're going to use this data table right here. That's the one we're going to refer to, so you're going to have to kind of go back and forth on your graphs page to answer some of these questions. It just tells you an average cost of a watch and the error per month in minutes that you have. So, let's go ahead, let's look at our first example. So what they gave here for your first example, it says here is the x-axis. They went 0, 50, 100, 150, 250. What you need to figure out is if it's labeled OK. If it's labeled OK, put an X. You need to figure out if the difference between the numbers are not equal. If that's what's wrong, you put an X there. Too many numbers. So if they have too many numbers on here, or if they have too few numbers, or started with too small a number. You'll have to go back and refer to this table right here. So I'm going to give you approximately, let's go with 1 minute. Go ahead and go. If you are done, remember, just doodle on the side of your piece of paper. Do not distract other students. If you're not working, Mr. Tomorrow, or whoever your sub will walk around and record your name so you can make this up after school with me. Yay. Alright, let's give me a drum roll, please. Live like a rock star. Alright, the correct answer for this one was E. Started with too small of number. By starting with 0, but only about half the available space on the graph is used. The first number on the label should be the smallest number to be graphed, or some number only slightly smaller. By no means is it necessary to start with 0. For instance, in the above problem, the first number should have been 110, or some number just smaller than 110. Alright, so let's go ahead. Let's look at this next one. Again, it's got 110, 124, 200, 220, 225, 249. Go ahead and choose A, B, C, or D. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds on this one. Go ahead and go. Alright, time. Let's go ahead and give me a drum roll, please. Oh, come on, give me a big one. Alright, live like a rock star. And the correct answer is B. The distance between 124 and 200 should not be the same as between 200 and 225. So these all should have equal distances. See right here, I had a distance of 14. Here I had a difference of, what is that? 76. Here I have a difference of 20. Here I have 25. So these all should be the same. They should not be in different intervals. All right, let's look at our next little example here. Again, go ahead and go. Either choose A, B, C, or D. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds. All right, time. All right, give me a drum roll, please. Live like a rock star. And the correct answer with this one is A. It was labeled OK. The starting number is less than one jump smaller than the smallest number to be graphed. Good job. If you got that right, please stand up and say, oh yeah. All right, good job. Okay, so let's look at our next example. Whoops. All right, so this time you're going to look at the horizontal axis. You need to determine, I went ahead and put the table right here for you again so it's easier to look so you don't have to refer back to it. So go ahead, I'm going to give you approximately, let's go 20 seconds. Choose A, B, C, D, or E. Alright, time. Give me a drum roll, please. Live like a rock star. Alright, the correct answer is B. The difference between numbers are not equal. Because if we take a look at this, we have 2, 4, 5. Uh-oh, there's our problem. And then right here we have 9. So, that's not it. Okay, let's look at our next one right here. Go ahead. I'm going to move the table down a little bit for us. So go ahead, I'll give you about 30 seconds. Go ahead and give this one a shot. Time. All right, and let's go ahead. Let's look at our answer here. The correct answer is A. It was labeled OK. We started with 0. It's close to our first number, which is 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Good scale there. So that's it. All right, this is our last one before you're going to take a break. Here's your table. So go ahead. I'll give you about 20 seconds. Go ahead and go. Oh, let me move that out of the way for you. All right, time. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look right here. The correct answer should be C. Should be C because we're way too clustered. We have too many numbers on the scale. All right, so if someone will come up and press pause, you could go ahead and take your silent ball break. Welcome back from your science ball break. We have just one more little thing to talk about today. We'll maybe get through one or two examples. You've just had some practice in distinguishing between proper and improper numerical scales. In the next exercise, you'll use your skills and make some scales of your own. Mark off the horizontal axis of the following graph outlined into 5 equal line segments. Use a series of small marks across the axis. Mark off the vertical axis into 5 equal segments also. So here is the table, and we're just going to kind of read through here. Now you must place a number beside each mark on the graph. Examine the table of data below. What is the difference between the largest and smallest value for the now manipulated, remember, independent variable? Divide that number by 5. So you start off, you find the range. You divide the number by 5. So here's how they're going through the work right here. The difference between 36 and 57 is 21. So you subtracted those, got 21. You go 21 divided by 5 is 4.2. Rounding to the nearest commonly used counting number is 4. Most people find 4 easy to count by. The smallest number you must graph with is 36. So that would also make a good example to start with as your number. So you'd start off, you'd go 36, 40, 44, 48, 52, 56. Okay. Oh, whoops, and I just showed you the answer. So anyway, I kind of got ahead of yourself on this one. So we'll just kind of move ahead. And as you can see right here, this is what you should have done. Started with 36, and your first tick mark would have been 40, 44, 48, 52, and 56. So now, okay, look back at data table 13 again. What is the difference between the largest and smallest on the dependent variable? Divide that number by 5. So if we take a look at here, we have 216 and 68. So what you're going to do is you're going to subtract those two numbers. Then you're going to get that answer. You're going to divide it by 5. When you divide it, it looks like you get a number close to 29. 30 would be easier to count by, so round your counting number to 30. Starting with 68 would make counting difficult. It would be better to drop down to some smaller number like 60. So starting with the label 60, label the vertical axis of 13 and jumps of 30. Begin at the corner of the graph. So when you guys are doing that up here, right here on the number of leaves. I'll give you approximately about a minute for that. All right, time. Now, whoa. All right, it's not showing us on this page. Okay, so this is what it should look like on your page. You should have 60, then go 90, 120, 150, 180, 210. Okay, that's about all we got time for today. So we will continue with this more on Monday when I get back. Please take some time, reflect on today's lesson. I don't have enough time on the video to have you guys do that. As soon as you get done reflecting and summarizing, and then you have the rest of the class period just to kind of play on your iPads. Thanks a lot, and we will see you guys on Monday.